billionaires, right? That they own.
Yo, what's up, gamers? Sorry, I am gonna be about 5 minutes. We only got 5 minutes left on the countdown. Hey, what's up, everybody? How are we doing today? How are we doing? Today is the date of Sunday, November 2nd, 2025. It's a beautiful sunny day out here. It's a beautiful sunny day out here in Hutchinson, Kansas. Let me tell you. It is very, very sunny. Sorry, I just woke up and I don't even think my pills have hit yet, which we all know how that is. We all know what that leads to. Definitely got a bit of a foggy brain going on today, but regardless of that, I'm going to bring you guys an amazing show today. We have a bunch of news to get into, so let me read the headlines for you guys. First off, we're going to be taking a look at this speech by our former president, Obama. He'll be speaking at a rally for Abigail Spanberger. After that, we have a piece by Channel 5 with Andrew Callahan, where he'll be going to a Zoran Mandani rally. And I'm really excited to see, like, kind of what the crowd is there, you know what I mean? Because it's definitely not gonna be like my lib crowd that I'm usually associated with, which is great. I love that. I love that. Um, yeah. So, anyways, after that, we got two news articles for you today. The first one is gonna be an article by the AP. Tariffs are Trump's favorite foreign policy tool. The Supreme Court could change how he uses them. So it's going to be an article going over how the Supreme Court is looking into potentially limiting Trump's tariff powers, because this ability of blanket tariffs is just, it's way too much power over the economy. And then after that, we're going to be getting into a poll done by ABC that finds most Americans blame Trump for inflation. So that's going to be super, super exciting. But to begin with, I did see a new podcast episode by by our favorite shrimp. Actually, we're gonna offload that into the very end. So once we're done with everything, guys, we can continue the shrimp wars, because we've been away in the snark front. We've been away in the snark front for too long. And I think it's time we refocus, we integrate back into the front lines of the shrimp wars. Sorry, I just had to send out an at everybody message. But without further ado, guys, let's get into our stories of the day. Starting with former... Oh, hold on. Gotta get rid of that. We don't need that anymore, guys. We don't need that. But, let's get into this speech by our former President Obama. Now, unfortunately, guys, pop-out chat, something's wrong on my end with the YouTube chat. And it's not grabbing, the pop-out chat. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to fly solo in terms of the chat on screen today. But I think I can give you guys something that is equally as interesting and equally as fun. So let me see if I can do that real quick. I'm gonna go to images. You know what? Bill was the first one in chat today, so I think what we can do there is we'll put his dude there. We'll put Bill's dude there. Yeah, I like that. A little bit of fan interactivity, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of fan interactivity. By the way, guys, if you don't know what these are little drawings that I do every community day, which is usually every other month, but I plan on doing one this month just because I missed a couple very key community members that deserve drawing. So if you want a drawing, stay active in the chat. You know, let me know how I'm doing in chat and stuff. You know, just really, you can lay into me even if you want. Just be an active member in the community and you will most likely get a drawing. But I think that kind of clears up everything that I wanted to say in the beginning. I hope you guys are doing an absolutely fantastic. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get into President Obama's speech. Now, I have no idea what he's talking about here. I just saw it and I was like, we gotta hear from the man most Americans would re-elect if they had the chance, you know? Let's see.
So, with that...
Hold on. That's not President Obama.
I am thrilled to introduce you all to someone I am honored and grateful and humbled to have supporting me in this campaign, someone who represents the very best of public service, someone who is ready to help Virginia send a message on Tuesday. Virginia, are you fired up? Virginia, are you ready to go? So please, will you join me
Obligatory Obama.
welcoming back to Norfolk the 44th President of the United States.
Jesus, they are fucking riled up. Are you guys hearing that? Holy shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to blast your eardrums out. Let's go! Let's fucking go! Ladies and gentlemen, weighing in at 160 pounds, 6 foot and frickin', I don't know how tall he is, 6'7" tall, but when standing to MAGA, 9 feet tall. It's the man who brought Medicare to all, President Obama! Hey! Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time I'm introducing my Obama voice. How is it?
Yeah. Hello, Virginia. Woo.
Damn, he really is a fucking superstar of the Democratic Party, guys. I don't know what else to say. He is. I mean, this is pretty well deserved. You know what I mean?
All right. Man, I'm fired up too. I am definitely ready to go. It is good to be back in Virginia.
Fuck yeah.
It's good to be back in Norfolk.
Oh my god. He is a fucking superstar. He really is. I love it. I love it. This is what we should have. This is we need man, he's good. I know, dude. He is just too fucking smooth. He's too fucking, made in a lab, let me tell you. That's the woman that beat shrimp fritters. Oh my god, maybe. Oh wait, that's the woman? No way, ladies and gentlemen! Hold on! Abigail Spanberger, one of the most valiant fighters, Bill Clockwell, bringing in the fact that Abigail Spanberger whooped this guy's ass. Ladies and gentlemen, the man Obama is endorsing stomped this guy in an election. Wow. It's a little too deep. What is? There, Bill, my bad. Sorry, guys, if I seem a little more, springy today, I, didn't get a lot of sleep, and, just been having some stress in my life, so I hope I don't sound too, silly today. I hope I sound the right amount of silly for you guys today.
The last time I campaigned, in Hampton Roads, I was running for re-election.
Oh, my Obama voice? I was running for re-election. See, that hit. I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna workshop it. I sound good? Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. It's probably, like I say, guys, I have anxiety disorder, so sometimes I second guess myself like that, but that's all right. I'm glad I have you guys. You guys really do make my day every time I see you guys in the chat, so thank you guys so much.
I know I have not aged a bit.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Compare him to Trump, he really looks like 1,000 times better than Trumpy boy.
It is an issue. You've been around a long time when you're in a photo line and some tall guy, with a beard comes up and you're taking a picture. What's your name? And then they pulls out. He says, "This picture I want to show you. This is you holding me as a baby."
Oh, damn it, he is good. He's making me laugh. He's making me laugh, guys. Damn, he is just too good, guys.
And oh man, really? I'm old. But I am here today for a very important reason. I am here to ask you to vote.
Yeah, he was, it's crazy that he was 47. He was barely eligible when he announced, yeah.
for the next
He was-
governor of Virginia, Abigail Spanberger.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in Virginia, you better be voting for this woman. You better. She's got an endorsement from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Obama. Damn it, I'm gonna start saying it like that now, and then like, I'm gonna be in a serious conversation, and I'll say Obama, and it's just gonna derail. I can already tell. I can already tell, folks.
If you have not voted yet, make a plan to vote on Election Day, November 4th. Just visit abigailspanberger.com/vote. You can find out where to vote. You can also find a drop box.
Oh, by the way, that reminds me. Tomorrow is going to be a bit of a local election day for me. I'm going to be going over all of the candidates in the elections near me. And yeah, it's going to be a fun time. So look forward to that with you guys. I could go over some big state election politics too. I think that would be really fun.
For your mail ballot. And then you've got to get all your friends and your family to make a plan to vote. Because in 3 days, just 3, no more than 3, just 3.
Damn it, he is literally so charismatic. That is so incredible that he's able to just capture this crowd, you know, without hate. That's something else. Donald Trump is able to capture the crowd with hate and fear, but everybody's just having a good time. Look, they're all smiling. They're all smiling, having a good time, which I don't blame them. I don't blame them. This is how I want our version of TPUSAs to look. I want everybody smiling, you know, cool people all around. Wait, I'm on chat area. Yes, you are, Bill. Yes, you are. The chat on my YouTube side is down, unfortunately, so I had to, improvise, and I noticed you were the first one to, type in chat today, so you got your little dude on display. So thank you for that, by the way, for, typing in chat. I appreciate it.
In 3 days, we have a chance to elect a leader who will help build a better, stronger, brighter future for Virginia. Si se puede. And Lord knows we need that.
Bill has his little dude out. No, not like that. Not like that. No. His, we need a name for these creatures. We need a name. I could call them gamers, but that's what I call everybody. So we need a name, for these little dudes.
Right. We need that inspiration. Because let's face it, our country and our politics are in a pretty dark place right now. It's hard to know where to start. Because every day, this White House offers up a fresh batch of lawlessness and recklessness and mean-spiritedness and just plain craziness. We got a president who thinks it's okay to use the Justice Department to go after his political opponents. Hey, wait, don't boo. Vote.
Amen.
They don't hear boos, they hear votes.
Hey, there we go. Yes, sir. They don't hear boos, they hear votes. And the American people really have been speaking with their votes as of recent, because there's just been special election after special election of Democrats getting elected. And I think that shows that America really is kind of regretting their purchase of Donald Trump. Only like how many months in are we? Only 10 months in. And they're already regretting him. That does not spell good for Donnie Boy.
So we've got a president who replaces career prosecutors with loyalists who will do what he wants, and now he's telling them what he wants is for them to hand over millions of taxpayer dollars that he had to pay in expenses for previously violating the law. We've got a commander-in-chief who fires decorated officers because he thinks they might be more loyal to the Constitution than they are to him.
He made a mistake. Oopsie. Oops. That would be what the actual president does, Obama. Obama. Sir. Can we just still call him Sir President or something like that? I don't know. Give him an official title.
Deploying the National Guard in American cities, claiming to stop crime waves that don't actually exist. We've got masked ICE agents pulling up in unmarked vans and grabbing people, including U.S. citizens, off the streets on the suspicion that they don't look like real Americans. We've got an HHS secretary who opposes proven science and promotes quack medicine. A top White House aide who calls Democrats, the whole party, domestic extremists.
Yeah, he calls us the whole party.
We got some poor labor economists who got fired for accurately reporting bad jobs numbers that the president didn't like.
God, I forgot about that. That was so long ago. If only there was a 1-year return policy. I know, dude. I know. If only. If only. Maybe we should make something like that. Honestly, maybe in a democratic way, you know, we could actually make something like that, where if the president isn't doing a good job, like, we can just vote him out or something. I don't know, within the first year and just hire his VP or something like that. Like, I don't know. If Trump's showing us anything, it's that we need to be able to, change leaders at a moment's notice, because this dude is just so crazy. Donald Trump, that is. Obama still's got it. Still got it after all these years.
It's like every day is Halloween. Except it's all tricks and no treats. And here's the thing. It's not as if we didn't see some of this coming. I will admit it's worse than even I expected, but I did warn y'all.
Damn, that's kind of scary that even Obama is saying it's worse than he expected. A small bit of good news at... Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'd probably agree with him. It's getting pretty bad right now. I mean, you have him going after his political opponents. You have him, actively trying to engage in, like, he's trying to start a war with Venezuela. You know what I mean? California-style recall elections? Maybe. I mean, anything would be better than just having to deal with this for another 3 years, dude. He's wrecked so much already. And this was just the first year. Imagine what he's gonna do in 3 fucking years. He's got 3 and 2 months more of these. Oh my goodness. What is he gonna do? I'm convinced one day I'm gonna open up my phone, you know, type in the password, and I'm gonna see right on the front headline, Trump found wandering the wandering the White House Rose Garden in his robe, no underwear. Or Trump mistakes his daughter for a potential victim, question mark? Something like that. Small bit of good news. My religious fascist adjacent brother hates Trump now. That is fucking great news, bro. Or, I don't know your gender, so that is great news, though, dog. That is, absolutely fantastic. And, I hope, you know, maybe this little bit you could plant some seeds in there. Be like, you know, like some of Trump's policies that he says, you are, man. Well, that's good. I'm glad we could clear that up because I don't know. I don't like assuming and stuff like that. But I have a horrible habit of it. But that's great to hear, Bill. That really is great to hear. Hey, maybe send him to the stream, you know what I mean? Maybe we can turn him into the biggest resist lib known to man. You never know. Anything's possible here.
You can run the tape. And by the way, he warned you too, because he said what he was going to do. But the fact is,
that is something that's really that's going to be hard to square away for me. And I am all about building bridges, so obviously I don't care too much, but it is hard to square away that these people knew what he was going to do. And they were all cheery about it, you know? Like they were cheering on fascism when it benefited them, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm obviously never gonna hold it against anybody or anything like that, but I don't know. It is hard to square away for me. But again, I think a lot of these people were just sold like a bunch of lies. They didn't really see what Trump was actually saying. It was more just like this entire media apparatus had sprung up and was just nonstop feeding people disinformation. And so, in that way, like, the people that didn't really understand what was at stake, I definitely forgive, like, 100%, you know what I mean? And I forgive the people that even knew. It's the only people I won't let into my coalition. The only people I would never, a million years, are the propaganda spreaders and the most of the politicians themselves that have decided to be partisan. Like someone like my representative Tracy Mann is never going to co-sponsor a bill with a Democrat. Like, so I you know, and someone like Tim Pool or Benny Johnson, they knowingly lie. They take money from people and knowingly lie. So, you know, but like your average Joe, you know, I talk to them every day, you know, it's not like they're not even in tune with politics like us. So it's hard for me to judge them too much. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out the channel, gets my voice out there. And I think Normal Cade is finally activating. I think, if you guys couldn't tell, when I was when I started this stream, I was very fucking tired. I'm not gonna lie. And I was a little unsure if I would be able to do the stream, but I fortunately am. Okay.
There were plenty of people who voted for Trump and the Republicans anyway. And it wasn't because they wanted to give up the right to free speech or see our public health systems torn down, but because they were understandably frustrated with inflation and gas prices and the difficulty of affording a home and worries about their children's future, and so they were willing to take...
Dude, this is what I've been saying the entire time. I feel so fucking vindicated. I feel so fucking vindicated, dude. This is what I've been saying the entire time. It's not that they loved Trump, it's that they hated the state they were in. Like, you know what I mean? Trump sold these people a bunch of fucking lies. But I just shout out to Obama. He's just tapped in. He really is.
Take a chance. Now, 9 months later, you got to ask yourself, has any of that gotten better?
Oh my God. Fuck no, dude. Prices are skyrocketing, it feels. Like, it does not feel like it feels like inflation is worse, dude. Have you guys noticed that too? Like, my pockets are a lot more empty now. You know what I mean? Just because things are more expensive and it's harder to accrue money. I don't know. Maybe that's just a regional thing and it's not everywhere, but here I've heard people just saying it's almost impossible to live day to day. And this is small town America. It shouldn't be like extreme. I live in Kansas. This is one of the most uh low cost living places in the country. And even then, you're looking at about $1,200 for a month for rent. These aren't condos, these are just fucking small little 2-bedroom apartments. You know, the entire draw of small town America is that it's a lower cost of living, a tighter community, stuff like that. And then they're just charging like these astronomical prices for units that are not even remotely like livable. Well, they're livable, but they're not like this 10 out of 10 really 12,000 for an apartment. Yes, unfortunately it's gotten really bad. I don't know if there's like a local bubble or something that's just causing all the local prices to just skyrocket, but it's gotten bad, dude. It's gotten really bad recently. Um, they used to be only like $800, and some of them will still list that they're $800, but when you call them, they say their prices have changed. It's very strange. As you guys can probably tell, I am trying to look for an apartment right now. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Trump said he was going to bring down so many prices, and it's like, at that rate, I can see why so many are leaving for cities. At least you make a little more. Yeah. My rent is under 580 pounds a month for a 2-bed open plan flat in the center of a nice leafy area surrounded by Victorian parks. Well, I am so happy. I is 580 pound, or I don't know how much that is, but it seems like it would be about. I mean, that does sound so nice. It sounds beautiful. I live oh geez, it's been a struggle. And I feel for so many Americans out there that are dealing with the same thing. Basically zero crime. Like $600 to $700. Well, that's fucking sick. I'm actually really happy to hear that you got that. It's bots. Um, you deserve a nice place. You really do. So I'm glad to hear that. But uh, bots rent is less than mine or Pakistan. Oh man, it's just so hard these days, man. I hate saying that without providing context. But man, it is just a tough time right now. Uh, you know, politically, and because of the politics, because of what Trump is doing, economically as well. And then just everybody kind of feels like they're on tension right now, it seems. Like everybody's kind of guarded. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's just a local perception or something, but um, Mont's rent is less than mine in Pakistan. Hey, well, shout out. That's crazy. Oh, and I didn't know you were from Pakistan. That's sick.
Is the economy working better for you? because it sure has gotten better for Trump and his family.
Oh, dude, the personal enriching. That's why I say prosecute these people. It's not going to be a political persecution. It's going to be like a prosecutor catching criminals. You know what I mean? Like what Trump is doing is he's bringing these flimsy indictments to the DOJ that just barely even stand up in a court. You know, the last one, what was it? It was like half of the court didn't even vote to indict them. It was very split. I think that was Comey. But it's just like I hate the law not being used, you know? I really hate the law not being used on these people because it's used on the average American. You know what I mean? And it erodes trust in our system because the average American's going to see that and be like, "Oh, well, they can get away with it, but I can't. That is so unfair." So, we're going to have to get somebody who is a very good prosecutor to prosecute these Trump admin individuals, you know? And these are going to be much stronger indictments than what fucking Trump brings. You know, we have literal public evidence of half of this shit. So, very low. Mine is in a safe neighborhood in a big city, about 650 USD though it's a 3-bedroom plus dining. Oh, that's super cool. It's a nice setup actually. But yeah, and here, I wish I could benefit from those prices. I really wish I could. You know, I think I saw a study. I think it was like 1/3 of Americans under the age of like 30 live with their parents, which I don't think is an embarrassing thing. Maybe, you know, I live with my parents right now, but I don't think it's nearly as an embarrassing thing as it used to be. Times are really hard right now, guys. Like I keep overstating it, but you know, or not overstating it. I keep reiterating it, but times really are tough right now. So I think that statistic makes sense, and it's something. If I was to be president for 4 years, something I would work towards uh getting rid. You know, like maybe building more homes, making rent more affordable, increasing wages, stuff like that. But Trump, see, the issue with Trump is he doesn't like the small things. There's a lot of issues with Trump, but he doesn't like the small minutia, right? Like with crime, we know that doing these outreach programs, and funding local areas that kids can congregate without crime, we know that type of stuff decreases crime and it leads to less arrest and stuff like that. But that's boring, right? That's boring to most people. Most people are like, oh, that's very uninteresting. Now, personally, I find that shit very interesting and it uh, deserves to be studied more. But you know what's not boring? Sending in the fucking National Guard to beat down people's doors. I mean, it's scary. It's like watching a horror movie. It's like, would you rather watch a documentary about cell biology or a horror movie? Up to you. You have to remember the annual wage here is like, oh, 1,800 USD. Is that a month? About 1,800 a month? Sorry, I genuinely don't know, so I'm just interested.
You know, since he's been in office, the whole crypto business and other ventures have made hundreds of millions of dollars, including from foreign nationals and rich folks investing because they want to stay in the president's good graces. The economy has been really good for some of Trump's billionaire pals and for finance bros and well-connected corporations who've seen their tax bills go down and don't have to worry about all these pesky regulators anymore. But for ordinary families, costs haven't gone down. They've gone up. Partly thanks to this shambolic tariff policy.
Shambolic? I like that. That's funny. Shambolic tariff policy. I don't know what that word means, but it's, I liked it. See, me and him share this where we'll just use random words. The only difference is he knows what most of them mean. I just kind of, you know, it's like a soup here, like an alphabet soup. I don't know what the average annual wage here in Kansas is. I think it's pretty much it's a little lower than the national average. Because, well, it might be getting better, but just from what I see wages wise here and all that, it seems to be lower than the national average, which is to make up for well, it's supposed to make the low housing price is supposed to shambolic shambles, a complete unorganized mess. I love that, dude. I'm gonna use that. I fucking love that word. Annual. Oh, I didn't see the annual. My bad. Interesting.
People trying to get a start in life are having a tougher time than ever finding a job. Entry-level hiring is down 16% from last year.
That's a crazy number. I didn't know that. We need to check the ADP statistics sometime soon, but that's insane. 16%? That's insane. And it makes sense, right? Because the economy is so, like, people aren't feeling as, well, it shows like a malaise within the general public towards the betterment of their life. And so that's not good. 'Tis an old world. We use it a lot in the UK. Old word. We use it a lot in the UK. Obama is a man of culture. Speaking of word, why does it feel like Trump just learned the word cute? He keeps saying it. I don't know, man. He is so just lost. I think that might have been like the only word of affection his dad used towards him. He's like, oh, he's cute. And his brain is sundowning so hard that it's going into regression and going back to the days in which he was a young lad. That's my only theory. He has shitty vocabulary. Trump, yeah, he does. He does. And it sucks, dude. Like, I would love to see him articulate some fucking bangers. No, I wouldn't. I just want to see him out of office, you know? Okay, here. We can make a deal with Trump, right? You leave office. Bring your whole admin. We'll have different elections, okay? But you get $1 million, or you get $1 billion. This is more than $1 billion he would destroy, guys. So you get $1 billion. Your own small little island and your own reality TV show. I think that would be the selling point. You pitch it like it's The Apprentice, and he's gonna be sundowning so bad that he doesn't realize that he already did The Apprentice. It's gonna be like a whole new discovery for him. He knows all the words, the best words everybody is talking about, all the words that I know. I know the words that are used in these sentences. Look at that. That's a word. Sentence. Oh, sentence! It's a word nobody really uses anymore. It's a fun word. Sent ants. Oh, it's like I'm sending ants into the forest. All right, Donald. He's made billions from the crypto coin already. I know. That's something I feel we can get him on. Because I think we have a very good case against his crypto stuff because he did that before he came into office. And I don't know if the ruling rules for incumbents as well. So we might be able to get him, excuse me, on the crypto coin stuff. I'm really confident on it. Time for your applesauce dinner, Donald. He's definitely pardoning himself. Yeah, I know. Well, maybe we get rid of the power of the pardon, you know? Maybe we leave it up to an independent council and they can retroactively repeal or allow. I don't know.
Hundreds of thousands of federal employees, including a lot of people here in Virginia, have lost their jobs to pay for those billionaire tax cuts. We're talking about people who have dedicated their lives to public service, who make the country work. Healthcare premiums for millions of people are about to double or even triple next year. Meanwhile, the government is shut down and the Republicans...
One moment, guys. I gotta go get some water. I'm just gonna let Obama speak, though, so don't worry. I will be right back.
Who currently are in charge of Congress, they're not even pretending to solve the problem. They have not even been showing up to work. Not in session. Where are you? What are you doing? And as for the president, he has been focused on critical issues like paving over the Rose Garden so folks don't get mud on their shoes. And gold plating the Oval Office and building a $300 million ballroom. So Virginia, here's the good news. If you can't visit a doctor, don't worry. He will save you a dance. And if you don't get an invitation to the next White House shindig, you can always watch the festivities and all the beautiful people on Truth Social. The point is, there is...
All right. Thank you, Obama, for filling some dead air for me.
And if you don't get an invitation to the next White House shindig, you can always watch the festivities and all the beautiful people on Truth Social.
Truth Social.
The point is, there is...
What did that dude say? I don't know what he said, but it got them laughing.
The point is, there is absolutely no evidence Republican policies have made life better for you, the people of Virginia. I mean, they've devoted enormous energy in trying to entrench themselves in power and punishing their enemies and enriching their friends and silencing their critics. They put on a big
The video
show
volume's a little low, but
supporting people and targeting transgender folks. They never miss a chance to scapegoat minorities and DEI for every problem under the sun. You got a flat tire? DEI.
dude, he's so in tune with the American people. That's crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, this is the blueprint. This is the blueprint for anybody that wants to do well in political theater. This guy right here, don't do what Trump did, because Trump has a record low polling numbers. Be an Obama. Be Obama, not Trump.
Huh. Wife mad at you? Yeah.
That was a good one. Damn, is he a comedian on his days off? Has he just been hitting the comedy circuit? God, he's got me cackling out here. That's a great point, though. They blame everything. I remember the day before Charlie Kirk died. The day before Charlie Kirk died, he was on his YouTube channel blaming the Texas floods, I believe, on DEI. I'm not even shitting you, folks. He was blaming some natural disaster on DEI. And it wasn't because, hold on. It's not because there was any black officer, in charge of that. It's because in another city, there's a black officer. Or a black head of fire safety, I think it was. DEI, buddy. DEI. It's the Republicans' one-stop fix-all. DEI. Now, what happens when it's a white dude, a straight white dude saying all of this stuff? Well, he's ideologically captured. I can do these arguments for them, I can literally write these things in my sleep.
They have not devoted energy to is helping you. They have not put forward serious proposals to lower housing costs or make groceries more affordable. They haven't improved our schools. They haven't made healthcare more accessible. They haven't shortened your commute or prepared young people for the future where AI might take their job. And all the nonsense we see on the news every day, the over-the-top rhetoric, the fabricated conspiracies, the weird videos of a U.S. president with a crown on his head flying a fighter jet and dumping poop.
Dude, that was so crazy. Are they okay? Like, dude, this is so obviously like boomer AI shit. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing. Yeah, Texas is known for its DEI programs, right?
Protesting citizens, all of that is designed to distract you from the fact that your situation has not gotten better.
Amen. Yes,
they do
sir.
it so you won't notice that while they're helping the wealthiest, most powerful people in the country consolidate more wealth and more power, your bills are still going up. And you're waiting longer at airports because there aren't enough air traffic controllers. And the program helping your kid with special needs was just gutted. So that is what's happening. And the good news is there's something you can do about it.
Yes, sir.
Right here.
Yes, sir. You can engage in the democratic process of voting and show these fucking whack jobs who is actually important, like who actually is here to fucking help you. You can vote. Yeah, I know. Poor fucking Harry Sisson. He got dumped on. Poor Harry. I know, I saw that. I felt so bad. I was like, oh no, not Harry. What are you doing, man? Oh, jeez. Harry is the target of a meme-based ordinance, eh?
Right now. Because you've got a candidate for governor who's got a track record of getting stuff done. Somebody who sees you and has been with you and knows your struggles and will fight for you every single day. Virginia, it's time to point America in a better direction by electing Abigail Spanberger as your next governor. Now, listen, Abigail doesn't go around bragging about herself all the time, talking about how I'm great. But she's great. As a former federal law enforcement officer, as a CIA case officer working on counterterrorism, she knows what it takes to keep communities safe. As the mom of 3 kids in Virginia public schools. You know she cares about helping every child and helping every teacher succeed. As a member of
Are you guys
Congress,
feeling it too? Gosh, he just has this uncanny ability to just, you know, he's a good leader. He's a good leader. I think that's what it is. He's able to galvanize a crowd and get that energy going in a positive direction. Is this how the Republicans feel about Trump? That's so embarrassing if it is. Like, do they see him like I see Obama? Is that the case? Is that what the Trumpers are up to? Is that what they think? They think he's like Obama? In a lot of ways, Trump was the answer to Obama for a lot of people. In the worst ways you can imagine. You know what I mean? So it would make sense, but Trump he can't galvanize like this.
he was a workhorse, not a show horse, fighting to lower prescription drug costs, giving veterans the support they deserve. Abigail does not just say the right
Oh
thing.
shit, Bill Clockwell with a very interesting and dope fact. She would be the first female governor of Virginia. Dude, let's fucking do it. Like, I think she seems pretty cool. I haven't heard much from her, so I'm just kind of going off of what our homeboy Obama said, but she seems like a good candidate. I mean, she doesn't have a Nazi tattoo on her on her chest, so that is definitely a positive point in her direction.
As your governor, she will.
Oh no, I mean Yahtzee. No, YouTube. I didn't say that word. No, YouTube. No, please. YouTube, please. No, I know I said it. Okay? I understand. My hands are up. You guys can't see me, but my hands are up right now. Okay, I understand, YouTube. That when I say that word, you don't like it. I will stop saying it, okay? You can put it down. You can put the gun down. All right, thank you.
Do the right thing. She understands the government can make a difference in people's lives by educating our kids for the jobs of the future, keeping our air and water clean, protecting consumers from fraud and dangerous products, providing a safety
You can
net
say it
for
as long
seniors.
as you aren't monetized. Actually, it does a huge drop in my viewership if I say it more than a couple times. It's like very significant, and I noticed it the other day. And I had noticed it in previous streams too. It just drops my viewership, and I have no idea why it does that. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't think people are gonna click off the video if they hear that word, but yeah, it's really crazy how much it just drops down.
And folks with disabilities. Investing in the infrastructure and scientific research that drives economic growth. But Abby also knows that good intentions
Yeah, I went
aren't
from.
enough.
Oh,
She understands
are you
that we
talking
can-
about yesterday? Yesterday it actually in my YouTube analytics, it showed it went from like it was like 11 people watching, and then it dipped to like 2 people. It said it on my analytics that 2 people were watching. This didn't make any sense, but the moment I stopped like saying it, it just boosted it back up. So I have no freaking idea why it does that or how it's like really capable, you know, what's going on there, but it's very strange. Oh, one moment, guys. I do have to go to a link here. Wow, we got 75 views on this bad girl. Look at that. We're getting out there in the algorithm, folks. I have to share a link real quick, guys. One moment. Don't yell at me. I'm sorry, okay? I know. But if you yell at me one more time, chat, I'm going to cry. Do you want me to cry? I don't think anyone wants this gamer to cry. Alright, now we're good. Let's continue on. People around the world have been having internet issues from AWS going down. I bet it's that. Maybe it could. I don't think that's connected. Hey, I mean, it might be. It might not be. I'm just gonna try to be safe with it for a little bit. Just for right now. But eventually we'll probably be good.
Can't afford to waste taxpayer dollars on programs that don't work. And she understands that
Bill, no! Slight voice raise.
just trying to tear government down, it's her job to make it work better. So Abigail has real, practical plans to grow the economy.
I didn't think YouTube would just kick people off of a stream. That's why I was so weirded out. That's never happened to me before, like when I'm watching a stream. So, I don't know. It's probably not that, but I'm just gonna be safe, and I like calling them Yahtzee players anyways.
And strengthen Virginia's schools and lower the cost of everything from housing to healthcare.
By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the video, please consider giving a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, gets the algorithm to pick it up and put it out there for people. Our viewership has been really good, so I really appreciate you guys supporting me as of recent. It means the world to me. But yeah, like and subscribe to the video.
To energy. And she is willing to reach across the aisle to make it happen. She has shown that she can do it. Abigail is ranked as the most bipartisan member of Congress from the Commonwealth. She's had bills signed into law by both President Trump and President Biden. That is not easy to do. And Abigail doesn't just believe in working with everybody, she also believes, and this is really important, in listening to everybody, whether they voted for her or not. Because she knows that if we want to make progress on the things that we care about, we have to be able to disagree without calling each other nasty names or demonizing each other.
And this is coming from I love that this is coming from the Democratic Party, because this is a lot of what a lot of my politics are based in, is a mutual understanding between each other, you know. And excuse me. And Trump is so divisive that he really let us have this opportunity where we just say, hey, we want to unify, guys. And I'm not even like bullshit. I want to work with my Republican colleagues and not feel like they're judging me because I'm a liberal. You know what I mean? I want to live in that world. We don't live in that one right now, unfortunately.
So at a time when our politics feels broken, we need desperately leaders like Abigail, public servants who are in it for the right reasons and are focused on the future, and who will always stay connected to the people they were elected to serve. Now, her opponent, not so much. When someone asked her, and I'm just following this from a distance, when someone asked her apparently about all the federal workers fired by this administration, given how important that is to Virginia, apparently Abigail's opponent said she wanted to talk about real issues. Didn't understand why these job cuts are, quote, a huge thing. Now, I don't know about you, But seeing your neighbors,
I know you want
your
that, but I'm
friends,
pretty certain they don't. They're
customers.
not playing by the rules. Yeah. Are you talking about like what I like kind of want of like mutual understanding? Yeah, I understand like the Trump base, or not even the base, but like the admin is not going to play by the rules of like good politic, but I feel like there are some Republicans out there that I can agree with and work with. You know, it's just this MAGA cancer that is really, they would deport you if they could. I know. I know. Trust me, I know. And it's hard to square that away, but at the end of the day, I know that the country will be fixed when both parties can talk to each other. And if that means I have to take a little bit more shit, I'm okay with that because I love my fellow Americans, and I think they deserve uh they deserve a better leader, and they shouldn't have been lied to. So, I understand that they would definitely deport me if they could. I understand that. But maybe it's, you know, I am willing to take that and take it on the chin a little bit and just know that this will pass and they will feel extremely horrible for the things they said. I take solace in that.
Maybe some of your family members.
And even if they don't, even if they thought they were right the entire time, and the only reason they decided to vote Democrat was because they were pissed at Trump, that's okay. Because at the end of the day, a Democrat still got in that position, and they still voted for a Democrat. That's my goal. I don't know, when I did that fire debate, I don't know if you guys could tell, but that's always my goal, is to get them to vote blue, no matter who, unless it's a Nazi. If Trump does a third term, America is finished. Well, no, not at all, because we'll just run Obama, and Obama will stomp Trump. I know that they're going to try to do the consecutive thing, but then our lawyers will just come back with something else, and it'll be a whole thing. But no, I don't think America's finished if Trump tries to get a third term. He's gonna fail just because of how his recent performance has been. There won't be a voting after that. Well, if he makes it to the third term, that is, you know, we're still uh unsure if the 7th or 8th burger is going to go to his carotid artery. So we're still not sure.
Suddenly out of work, even though they've dedicated their lives to serving people, having trouble making their mortgage. Hey, maybe it's just me. Seems like a pretty big thing to me. Pretty huge. And I'd want a governor to be paying attention to it.
Oh yeah. I know Trump is, trust me. I know he's doing the Putin, but he's just too dumb. That's the thing. Putin isn't dumb. Putin unfortunately is very tactical, and he's very cunning. That doesn't mean he's not a piece of shit who deserves the Hague, who deserves to be hung, you know, for his crimes, but he's not an idiot. Trump is a blabbering idiot. Unfortunately. Like, I would be more scared if it was someone else, but they're just too stupid. They had Orban at CPAC. Their intentions are clear. He is just the figurehead from what I can see. Maybe. He may very well be like the figurehead, but the figurehead is what all their voters are voting for. They're not voting for these draconian era policies. They're voting for the economy and all that. So, while that may be true that there are forces manipulating him, I just don't think that even the forces manipulating them aren't very competent. Is it Stephen Miller? Really think that guy's the bee's knees, you know what I mean? They're all idiots. They're all just unfortunately very dumb. Yeah, no offense, bro, but talking and taking it on the chin isn't going to work. That's what they want. No, they don't want that. They want the opposite. They want you to get mad. They want you to get angry and throw shit and kill people. That's what they want. They don't want you to engage in a civil discussion. They thrive off of the people who are most offended by their stuff, because that reaction is what they feed their base. The reaction is to all of this is what they feed their base. So I disagree. I think talking will work, and I think we're already seeing signs of it working. You are playing chess. They are throwing the chessboard onto the floor and punching you in the face. Well, maybe I can I don't think it's nearly like that for everybody. Yeah, maybe for these top officials, but I don't think it's that way for everybody. You have camps, man. I mean, yeah, you have camps, but I disagree. I think you can the average MAGA Republican, you can talk to them and you'll find them not being this evil, aggressive person. You'll find them being just a pretty normal dude that has some crazy fucking views, but besides that, they're pretty normal, We'll know if they let midterms happen without military intervention. Exactly. But I think the best way to do it is talking and building bridges. I do. We saw, look at what happened with the left, Look at what happened with the left. That's all, I think it is worthwhile. And I enjoy talking to these people and hearing their fucking crazy ideas and disproving it. So, I have no qualms with it at all. Even if they punch me in the... Also, you have military police on the streets. Yeah, very true. Have they killed anybody yet, though? That's going to be the one... Your government is shut down. Yeah, that is very true. I'm not going to raise arms, though, and take out, I'm not going to do any of that. What else? I'm interested in spots. What else should we do? Like, what can we do right now? We don't know, but there are a lot of missing people. 2A, 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 2A. Amen. Second Amendment. But I don't know, it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. But if you think that, I'd rather have, I always say this, but, I'd rather have 5 communists, 5 liberals, and 5 conservatives on my side than that are fighting 10 fascists than 5 liberals and then the conservatives and communists killed each other. That's what I would prefer. There should be a 24/7 huge protest all day, every day, not just one day a week. Well, it's hard to get the American people galvanized for something like that. We're very tuned into politics right now, right? We know that this is horrible, but the average American doesn't. Even the average American that's kind of into politics doesn't really understand how horrible the stuff Trump is doing is. So, if there's a way for anybody to reach more than just one person, I encourage that. And I think everybody should have a live streaming YouTube channel. So we can reach as many people as possible, because that's what's going to really change minds. It's not the display of aggression, displays of aggression and combativeness isn't going to do anything but embolden the regime to continue on their path of vengeance, is what I call it. It's not even necessarily about galvanization. Miss people need to work, survive, they can't protest. Yeah, that's another example of why we just haven't seen, you know, the issue with America is it's kind of hard right now to live here, and you need money. And so, like, while you may very well feel like the Trump administration is going too far, you're going to feed your kids first. You know what I mean? But I don't think there is no hope. I think there is an abundance of hope. And I'm seeing it right now. Look at all these people. Look at all these people. You know, I'm seeing it, guys. I am. I watch a live stream at Broadview Detention Center. There are American citizens in it. Oh, interesting. If you, I'll look at, you said Broadview Detention Center? I'll look into that. Thank you for telling me about that. All right, I'm gonna look into that later though. Just because I do need to get through this video. But thank you for letting me know about that, Rennie Cup. I appreciate that. Good to say. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Maybe I have, and if I have, I apologize. But hey, shout out. Thank you for typing up in here. Oh shit. Yeah, nice to have you here, Rodney. I appreciate it.
Abigail's opponent does seem to care a lot about what Trump and his cronies are doing, and she's praised the Republican tax law.
It's your first time? Well, hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Howdy to yourself. I like the howdy. I appreciate that. That's the good Southern greetings that we all love. Don't let me get into my Southern accent. You guys don't want to hear that.
Would raise the cost of health care and housing and energy here in Virginia. She supported bills that would strip funding from Virginia public schools. She says she's morally opposed to protecting reproductive rights. Says she will do everything in her power to cut off access to abortion. Virginia, you don't need a governor who puts party and ideology ahead of the people she was elected to serve.
Yeah, Kansas is Midwest. Kansas is Midwest. I just liked and subscribed. Well, thank you so much, Rodney. I really appreciate that. I'm glad to have you here. Oh, you like the old Southern accent, it's bots? You like hitting me? You like hitting those Southern lows? Thank you again, though, Rodney. I really appreciate the subscription, brother. It means the world to me when I see people in my chat.
Think for herself and work for you.
Yeah, Kansas is Midwest. It's in a weird position though, to where it has a lot of Southern influence, like, and you can really see it. You ain't in Kansas no more, Dorothy. But it has this really weird mix of like Southern and Midwestern culture, and it's very unique actually. I haven't really seen it anywhere else. But I am a fanboy of my state. I can't lie.
A governor who will
my family's Tennessee hillbilly. Well, hey, that's all right. Well, I love anybody in America. I love anybody, period. But you know, I love my American brethren, so ain't no problem being a hillbilly. I think it was your family that that forged through a path of great things for our country in Tennessee. So, you know, appreciate it. Sorry, I'm kind of wandering now.
Not cut them, and who will lower costs instead of raising them, and who will bring people together instead of dividing them, and who will do what's right for the people of Virginia, no matter what anybody in Washington thinks. You deserve a governor like Abigail Spanberger.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm going to speed it up, though, because we're about halfway through the stream, and I do need to get to some other other topics, but gosh, Obama is just, he's fun to listen to, you know what I mean? He's making me laugh. They were on both sides in the first Civil War. Well, hey, shout out to the side that fought for the Union. Oh, nice and refreshing. Just come in and I see today we're watching a good speech from someone that isn't terrible. I know, right? It's like, it's refreshing to actually see something that isn't based on just lies and disinformation like we've been going through. I know. It's nice to hear from our boy Obama. Good to see you, by the way, Silicon-based cabbage. Good to see you.
I'm going to bring it down here for a second. Because at the end of the day,
Obama 2028. All right, well, if he could, I'm sure the American people would be more than happy to vote for him. And if Trump tries his third term, then we may very well run Obama. You know what I mean? We may very well run Obama. Now, that is assuming that it's a free and fair election, and that the Republicans haven't just absolutely taken all the power that they can. But I don't think they're gonna do that. I really don't. Mike Johnson is keeping the filibuster. He's keeping the filibuster. So that just shows me that they want to be, they know they're going to be the minority party someday, and they're planning ahead for that. That's what that shows me.
what this election's about, what politics in a democracy is always about, is values. What do we care about? What do we believe? What do we prioritize? What are our core convictions? You know, a lot of people have asked me lately whether I'm surprised by the direction the country's taking. And even though I am the hope and change guy,
I'm really interested to see his kind of feelings on this, because somebody who has been through what Obama has went through, I'm interested to see how he's feeling about it.
I try to be honest with him. So I say, yes, there are things I am worried about. I am worried about how quickly basic democratic rules...
Rodney saying first Civil War. Well, you never know. We've got multiple different views on the Civil War. I don't think we're in a civil war right now, if that's what you're implying, Rodney. I don't think we're in a civil war right now, but I can see how it might feel like that, you know, with all the news and aggression. I can totally see. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But I can see, honestly, I wonder what people are getting inundated with every day, because I was on Instagram just yesterday. I was talking about it on stream. I have never seen more anti-Semitic clips in my life, dude. There was I bring this example up pretty often because it was so baffling to me. There was a video of a Hasidic Jew swinging a gold coin at a main character in a Dark Souls game. I mean, this is just crazy, dude. Just absolutely insane stuff that I can't believe I was seeing on Instagram. Instagram is usually just totally normal, you know, boring Instagram, and it's totally changed into this breeding ground for hate and just disgusting stuff.
And norms have been weakened. I'm worried about how willing Republicans in Congress have been to surrender their role as members of a co-equal branch of government, refusing to buck the president even when they know he's out of line, even when a lot of them will privately admit that power is being abused in ways that will hurt their constituents and hurt the country. I worry about a Supreme Court that, so far at least, has shown no willingness
Oh
Check
yeah,
this
there's a lot of
administration's
racism and gore on Instagram now, which doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. It used to be different. It used to be like way more. Well, it makes sense. It's Zuckerberg bending the knee to Trump. It's Zuckerberg bending the knee to Trump.
excesses, even when those actions break legal precedent and seem to defy the bedrock principle that no one is above the law. I worry about the growing concentration of economic power in this country, with just a handful of mega billionaires and companies controlling what we see and what we hear. And I worry about how much that economic power distorts the political process.
And that's why I say everybody should have a YouTube channel and be streaming out, because we gotta go against these tech bros, guys. We have to show them that the people are more powerful than any of the stupid wealth that they have accumulated over time. That's what we need to show them, folks.
How readily, not just business leaders, but others with influence in law firms and universities have been willing to bend the knee to this president's autocratic impulses to avoid retribution or protect profits or simply to avoid controversy.
Yeah, it's really rich versus poor, but most people don't see it. You know, and I would agree with that. It's definitely we need to frame it as if it's these giant tech, I call them techno wizards, because if you look at their routines, they're doing like stuff that is like, if you were in a temple, it'd be like, oh, that guy's a fucking wizard and I wouldn't trust him. You know what I mean? Like, these techno wizards are holding the government hostage, it feels like. Making sure they don't get any regulation and stuff like that. But I'd say a larger issue in the rich versus poor kind of narrative thing is that there is only one Amazon. There's only one Walmart. There's only one Dollar General. That's actually not a good example. There are multiple different types of Dollar Generals, but Dollar Generals are extremely parasitic and horrible for communities that unfortunately have the burden of having them. But the issue is consolidation, right? There should be 4 Amazons. There should be 10 Walmarts. There should be so many different companies so that these companies aren't incentivized to pay their workers so horribly. So they're not incentivized to mass wealth. So they're incentivized to use that wealth to better their company instead of just amassing it, you know? So I think I would very much agree with you that it's rich versus poor, but I would say yeah, I'd say that's a good framing.
Sometimes how we've come to accept this as normal. But what I also tell people when they ask me about this, what I also try to remind them, is that America's always had competing stories.
Oh yeah, I'm sounding like a commie right now, right? Well, no, I wanted to just be split up and then owned by like these private individuals. You know, obviously. I'm not entirely communist. I am a lib, very libbed up here, but you know, I do think it's the issue of these people have just gotten so much money that they now can influence politics and all that. You know, money has always been in politics, but to this level, look at Never Stop. Never Stop only donates to Republican candidates, and they are the largest PAC in America. I mean, you know, those are some issues that I have personally. Like, I'm okay with money in politics, but to that degree where it's just so partisan that like you get a clear buff, you know, you get a +5 fucking voter or +5 financial boost if you join on with the Republican Party.
Stories about who we are and what this nation stands for. The first story says, we the people, just means some of us. that in order to qualify,
Simple solution is to vote with your wallet. Don't buy stuff from big stores. I agree. I agree, actually. I go to, like, whenever I can, I go to local shops. I buy local pretty frequently. Like, we have a thing called the Smith's Market here. Not bought anything from Amazon in about 5 years. I'd say I'm pretty equal up there with you. Now, mine is more from, poverty, but I go to a local bookshop if I ever want a book. I go locally just because I know it's a little bit, it's not even more really expensive nowadays. And you just get a sense of community and just cool people. You'll meet really cool people if you just go into your local shop and be like, hey, what's up? You'll just meet people that, like, you're glad you met. It was so much better before Citizens United. Obama won in a landslide without any corporate PACs involved. Yeah, it was. And I don't know how we get away from that, but there are some smart people that have put forward some ideas, so hopefully we can use some of their ingenuity. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out the channel, gets my message out there to the people, and makes me feel good. So yeah.
you have to be the right color, or come from the right family, or worship in the right way, or have enough money. It says that even though we got rid of a king, there's still a caste system in America. A pecking order of who makes decisions and who obeys, who gets opportunity and who is obliged to serve. And it's a story that's policed by fear. And
Shopping on phone is just bad for mental and physical health. Yeah, and I totally agree. It isolates you. It's like, well, instead of going to the store, I can just chill inside all day and just kind of be to myself. Like, it doesn't force you to go out there and meet people. And we're social individuals, we're social animals. So the more we isolate ourselves, the worse it gets. But a lot of people don't, when you're stuck in a depression loop, don't really realize that. I kind of went on a separate tangent there, but
it tries to convince people that for their group to win, another group has to lose. That if somebody doesn't look like you or think like you or practice religion exactly the same way you do, they must be a threat to your way of life, and they need to be put in their place. And that's how Donald Trump thinks about America. Make America great again by putting the people like him back in charge, even if they don't know what the hell they're doing. Now,
like
but
Pete
here's the
drunk
thing.
Seth.
That story is not new. That's the oldest story in the book. It's not even uniquely American. For most of human history, that's the way societies worked. There was somebody on top and somebody on the bottom. There were lords and there were peasants. And for a long time, that story of caste and privilege and concentrated power, that was the law of the land here in America.
Hey, I love that. It's bots. Pete Kegseth. I'm fucking saving that. That is amazing. Pete Kegseth.
If you look like me, you were
Keg's
like
breath.
treated as property.
That's amazing.
If you were a woman or a white man who did not own property, you could not vote. For a long time, if you were an Irish or Italian immigrant, we're not hiring. If you're Jewish or Asian, don't bother applying to our school. If you were Native American, you weren't even treated as an American.
Krusty Gnome. That one's good.
Even though you were here. But from the very start, there was another story. Born of this nation's true
Yeah, the
revolutionary
Krusty
spirit.
Gnome. That one was good. These are all great. Pete Kegston, Pete Keg's breath, Krusty Gnome. I mean, these are amazing, guys. You guys are some ingenuitive people.
A story that says we the people mean
Creative,
what it
I
says,
should say.
that all of us are included, that we are not subjects, we are citizens, defined not by race or religion or gender or sexual orientation, but by our commitment to a common creed and a willingness to accept not just the privileges, but the responsibilities that come with that citizenship.
Damn right. Damn right. I think we're going to end that there because you're damn right. God, yes, dude. He really hit all the notes in that one, didn't he? He really hit all the notes. But with that out of the way, we got a little bit more of it, but I do have some other stories I need to get to, so we're going to be moving on to the Zoran Mamdani rally. Now, we might not finish all of this. We'll probably get 30 minutes in, and then I'll read the stories for you guys. But, yeah, I'm interested to see what the rallies are like for Mamdani, because you guys know I'm a pretty good, I support Zoran. I think he does fill a need. And I think he has his pulse on the New York City people. So I'm a supporter personally. I don't like the shitty things he said in the past, but I think that's I love Obama. He is presidential, very articulate. I agree, man. Like he knows how to fill a thought and galvanize a crowd behind it. But I support Mamdani, and but his crowd isn't exactly my crowd. I'm much more of the liberal adjacent, much more of the classic, like Hakeem Jeffries type. You know what I mean? But I look at what Zoran's doing and I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. He's able to reach MAGA voters, which is something we've been needing to do. So, oh, excuse me. I am very excited to see what happens,
only come here with, 1/3 of the time or just one day a year just to do their little trade. All of those 3-story apartments in downtown Manhattan, in midtown Manhattan, that mostly remain empty, we should take those over. The working class should take those over, and they should give housing to all of the people. There is an incredible housing crisis, right?
You can't afford to fucking live in this town.
Yeah.
Money that people get is not enough to pay rent.
I don't think New York City survives a Mamdani victory. Crime goes up, taxes go up, people leave.
We survived Andrew Cuomo being the governor of this state. We will survive anything, and we are actually going to do more than just survive. We're going to thrive in this city.
Fuck Cuomo, let's go Zoran. We're gonna turn this country socialist. Socialism to me means equity, not equality. Unfortunately, we're not all equal. I come from extreme privilege, yo, and I want everyone to have the same privileges that I have. Shout out Andrew Callahan. Y'all doing great work.
Yeah, Mamdani seems hardcore leftist, but it's better than neocon. Well, he's moderated recently. He has definitely moderated recently. So, at first, yes, I would agree, and I wouldn't want him to be a candidate personally if he still held a lot of those positions. But it seems he's moderating, and it seems like he wants to genuinely try and help the people of New York City, which is, what he should be doing. So, I don't know about a lot of his policies. I know the community-owned grocery stores did decent here in Kansas, but I don't know how that would be in New York City. So I'm interested to see his policies, and at the worst, if all of his socialist policies fail, and they're just not effective, it's just going to be kind of the same as it was before, to where if you do what Cuomo does and, increase police presence and all that, it leads to worse outcomes and stuff like that. And I don't agree with rent freeze. I think there are better. I think building more homes. Zoran Mamdani knows how to get how the game is played. Flood the zone. Exactly. He gets the game, and that's something we need on our Democratic Party right now. We're learning, we're definitely learning, but at least you tried, and now we'll know it doesn't work. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, and, if it works, oh my God, think of all the people we could benefit. You know what I mean? Like, free buses, that would help me. I don't have a license right now because, of some stupid stuff I did in my, fucking early 20s. I was, driving on a suspended license. I was being a fucking idiot. So, buses would really help me. Like, free buses? Are you joking? Now, I'm into, so if it works, it helps so many people. And if it doesn't, it really doesn't hurt too many people. So, and I'm interested to see the social worker idea, right? the idea that a non-lethal entity would be attached to like police squads to de-escalate situations where lethality isn't necessary, where mental health is more of a issue rather than lethality. I'm interested to see if that works. I'm interested. You know what I mean?
The
But
Democratic
I do
Party
agree, that he's obviously better than
and its establishment has failed us, not only as young people, but as Americans.
New York is an incredibly wealthy city. It's the wealthiest city on the planet. Why is it that we have homeless people? Why is it that we have people without homes, people that can't afford to pay their rent? It's only because the billionaires, this tiny, tiny minority of society, is leeching all of the wealth.
No. Yeah. Let's go Cuomo. Yeah. Let's go Cuomo. We must fight to keep capitalism in our country. Capitalism allows what? Freedom, free enterprise. Mamdani is.
Oh my gosh. Appeared out of left field. Free buses seems weird to me. In NYC, the biggest problem for people isn't the price, it's the inability to stick to a schedule where free buses would make worse. Well, I'm interested. He's young too, so he gets it's more than some ancient relic of a man. Yeah, for sure. And also, yeah, I agree with that too. That he's been in the social media environment, so he kind of understands it. I never have seen a proud Cuomo supporter. So weird. I know, out of left fucking field, a Cuomo supporter. Here, hold on. It's like, I wish I had a soundboard so I could play like the
all of the wealth.
No. Yeah. Let's go.
I know. I wish I could play like the fucking a challenger has appeared. Don't.
Cuomo. Let's go Cuomo. We must fight to keep capitalism in our country. Capitalism allows what? Freedom, free enterprise. Mamdani is for.
You know, sorry, I had to add it there, but you guys got it.
Control, government control, which he talks about. He talks about not having private property. He talks about taking back the means of production. He talks about taxing white people more than other kinds of people. Government supermarkets.
Fast and free buses.
Oh my God, no, not Hassan, no. And it's a woman supporting him, right? Like, ew. Ma'am, do you know what that man has done? No, please, no. Why? Why did he have to ruin this? I'll be honest, I saw him in the thumbnail, so I knew he was going to be on here, but... Oh, dude, don't you got a dog to go shock? Shock.
Universal child care.
Kaya. Place.
Commodity form, sees the means of production, all that good stuff.
What do you think?
I mean, he's got good policies.
I know, right? Why is he in New York? He should be sanctioned to LA. Buses allow poor folks to get jobs further away. It's very simple. At the same time, it cuts down on pollution, underburdening the healthcare system. Yeah. I think that's my argument for buses, but the schedule thing is important too, I feel. Like the idea of it, the schedule needs to be like very consistent and all that, but I'm sure they'll work that out. Oh, thank God Hassan's gone, by the way. Hey, free buses work great in Kokomo. That's great to hear. I'm glad to hear that.
He's Muslim, and from everyone I know, I've heard is he's hung like a donkey.
He backs terror.
Everyone I know, I've heard is he's hung like a donkey.
He's hung like a donkey, dude. Zoran's apparently hung like a donkey.
He backs terrorists.
He's a jihadist. I think there's a lot of Democrats, especially in swing districts, that shy away from issues such as free Palestine or trans health care or things that may seem scary. But in reality, those issues and Zoran not being afraid to back down.
What's with the interviewer wearing the baklava I can't take any men wearing a 3-hole baklava seriously. They are just inherently funny to me. What the fuck? I think they need more buses. I used buses a lot when I lived in Geneva as a kid for a little while, but just making them free isn't enough for me. Yeah, I see what you mean. You want to make sure that the system is also like a well-oiled machine, that it's not like shoestring, right? You want to make sure it's like well planned out, well thought out, and I understand that, and I agree. Like, I think he needs to come with a good policy, and I think he's working on that. I do. By the way, is this... Oh, okay, never mind. The Bud Light Seltzer Lounge
is what's keeping his volunteer base
That's
here.
sick.
You know what? Fuck them. You want to do something? You want to stand up? Start riding bicycles. Buy a rabbit, kill it, eat it. You go hunting season, you go get 2 or 3 deers, you chop it up, you take it to your house, you're great for the whole year. That's how I go against the system.
I don't really know nothing about that. I just play basketball all day.
Subsidize
Have a wonderful
Uber?
day.
I don't know. I feel like subsidizing Uber would lead to a lot of issues. Like, just because I prefer like a government-based service. And I don't know how I feel about, like, Uber itself is kind of a scary app for me because it allows, you know, you hear horror stories from it. So I'm not too personally keen on Uber, but I know it's like a big thing.
Hey, y'all.
You guys want weed?
Hell yeah, I think a little bit of weed.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching
You're
Channel
throwing out
5. My name
ideas.
is...
Well, hey, I appreciate it, Rodney. I do. It's not a horror, like, it's not horrible. Like, I see where you were going with it. I'm afraid that it might lead to some more issues in the long term. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe a publicly owned Uber could be a good thing. That might be a good thing, yeah. Yeah, honestly, that could really work, actually. See, Rodney, you know? You got some great ideas in that head. Don't worry.
Is Andrew Callahan, and this is the first installment of our New York City mayoral election coverage. From a content perspective, we have an action-packed schedule for you guys. From Saddam, live on the streets of Brooklyn, speaking to the people, to the actual infiltration of a private Andrew Cuomo-sponsored young professional luncheon in Manhattan, which, by the way, was hosted by the Cool Girls for Capitalism Collective.
I designed the shirt. Shout out to Canva.
It
says cool
personally.
Girls for Capitalism.
I didn't love him when he was governor. I think that he's not handled a lot of things well.
We also have a sit-down interview with the 27-year-old Chi Ose, who is the youngest New York City council member in city history and represents the neighborhoods of Crown Heights and Bed-Stuy. So the Cuomo and Chi Ose segments I just mentioned are hosted by our brave and dedicated social media manager, January 6th participant, John Peter Scatini, aka the homie JP, who's been working behind the scenes at Channel 5 for 4 years, slicing together clips like his life depends on it and keeping the 5 train rolling forward. So shout out to Saddam and JP for their fantastic coverage.
What do you think about Sliwa?
I love Sliwa, yeah.
Oh, please don't be glazing me. Here's all right.
I'm sure some of you guys might be thinking, Andrew, this is great, but why the heck weren't you there? Well, compadre, I was down in Mexico shooting original content with our Canal 5 Latino America street team and documenting the festivities surrounding Mexico's glorious Independence Day. Mira.
Viva Mexico!
Cool Girls for Capitalism reminds me too much of Daughters of the Confederacy. Yeah. That's a little cringe. That's a little cringe.
Exactamente. Hoy en Feliz Cumpleaños a México. Estamos aquí en Nezahualcóyotl con...
Josué, sí, es una fecha especial. Es 15 de septiembre. Es
That
una
is absolutely
de costillas. Se levantó
amazing. I am so
México, feliz
happy.
cumpleaños, Independencia de México.
Shoe market in the country, attended a Lucha Extrema event in a rural junkyard out in the state of Mexico, and traveled to the mountains of Puebla
Wait a
to
minute,
document the...
is this not all about... Okay. Andrew, that is so interesting, and guys, I highly recommend you guys go check out that. But we're here for the Mamadani.
Somebody who's willing for change.
I think he's running to make things different, for real. Now everybody's threatened. Because why? Because he's a Muslim.
You know what? I'm not even going to tolerate this. As we all know, the New York skyline was rearranged by jihadists.
It's not just about New York City. It's a battle for the soul of our nation.
This country is about what you are. It's not who you are. It's about what you are.
Mamdani, definitely voting for Mamdani. Feel very comfortable voting for him. And it upsets me to see him being framed as a communist, as anti-Semitic. I don't think he's anti-Semitic. He can be pro-Palestinian without being anti-Semitic.
There's hella Jews who are
are anti-Zionist and who support Zoran and
Oh, anti-Zionist, yeah. Yeah. God, see, this is what I don't like. It's they downplay it. They downplay the anti-Semitism. They downplay it. And it's like, well, no, Zoran hasn't taken part in any of this anti-Semitism. But, like, you heard it there. He used the word Zionist as if that has any fucking meaning besides calling somebody a Jew. You know.
Not crazy, liberal, fucking freaks, whatever the Republican media wants to say, like conservative media, Democratic media. Everybody just wants the best for each other and the people around them. And
Oh, yeah, I bet, dude. I bet you are fucking so fucking politically engaged. God, this fucking dude. This type of dude. He'll go so... You know what? I'm not going to say anything.
love each other
He's
and
voting
just be able
blue.
to, you know,
He's
do
voting
our own
blue.
things in peace.
To understand Zoran's meteoric rise, which was largely carried by social media platforms the establishment calls Gen Z platforms like Instagram and TikTok, it may help to understand the rise of a different New York politician who came before Zoran, using the same tactics.
Okay, we're here. Thank you for your time, for sitting down with us. Could we just start by you telling us your name and your position?
Sure. I'm a New York City Council member Chiose. I represent the 36th City Council District. That includes Bed-Stuy and Crown Heights in Brooklyn.
Before running for office at 22, Chiose developed a following on social media through his coverage of the BLM protests in New York back in 2020.
The Black Lives Matter movement, really brought me into this world by chance. I took to the streets after, the first 48 hours after George Floyd was murdered and started documenting a lot of what was happening on the ground in the streets of New York City at these protests and seeing a lot of crazy shit, right? Like police pepper spraying people and hitting people with their cars and knocking people with barricades. And none of this was being documented on, MSNBC and CNN. Right? We were seeing a lot of looting, and I was just using my iPhone to like live stream. There's a lot of Instagram Live back then, and posting on social media, and people were following and
support
watching what
Israel,
I was doing.
but AIPAC is out of control. Yeah, I think, well, AIPAC more donates to candidates they support already. I think what's really out of control is just the money in politics in general. Like, I'm okay with money in politics, but it's to a certain point. I think that's the issue. One more thing. And I support a two-state solution, personally. I am a two-state solution supporter. I support some of what Israel does, but other things like the recent ceasefire violations and stuff, I just, it's hurting the view of America all around. Or hurting the views of Jewish people all around. AIPAC is weird that they support Colin Aird and Ted Cruz. Yeah. That is weird that they support Ted Cruz, eh? Very strange. They seem to always find more conservative candidates, yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why I mean, that's my personal issue with them, is that they're always funding these conservatives when the conservative base are the ones that, like, they thrive on anti-Semitism. That's where they started, So I don't know where AIPAC gets that idea that they're trying to, that conservatives are the ones protecting the people, but who knows?
Started speaking at some of these protests just about a lot of the inequities within our city, especially when it came to budget matters, and started organizing with some people on the ground who were sharing some of the same sentiments that I was. I decided to run for city council myself and ran an extremely grassroots campaign. Was 22 years old when I first launched, ran against a 40-year Democratic establishment, utilized very different strategies in running a city council race, and I think we were running it like we thought we were running for president of the United States, and learned a lot in the process and ended up winning and getting elected at 23 years old. So,
and you were the youngest city councilman in the history of the city, right?
Yeah,
that's at least on
that's what people say. I like to claim that, but there is this one dude, his name is William Rivera. He was a council member up in the Bronx, who I think got elected at 22.
Okay.
But his dad was the council member before him.
Okay.
So like, I'm maybe the youngest council member without like
some
political
family
nepotism.
connection.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll let you claim it. I think.
Cut that shit. Yeah. I'm youngest council member in history.
When did you first meet Zoran?
Oh man, I think I met Zoran at like a New York Working Families Party rally post 2021 election, and I know he recently got elected as a state assembly member. I didn't really get to know him throughout my run for office. He still is an assembly member, based out of Queens. And at the time of doing that, no one was using video in politics in the way that I was, right?
It's not just your landlord. The literal government board decides how much to jack up your rent. And you know what they decided? They want to raise your rent by as much as 16%. New Yorkers' wages aren't even going up by 16%. But we still have hope. The RGB is responsive to public pressure, which is why we need to show up to the next meeting.
And I started using TikTok and Instagram Reels to not only like organize around the Rent Guidelines Board, but started using it to get people involved in pushing a bill that I got passed called the FAIR Act, which banned forced broker fees in New York City. And it was the first time that an elected official in the city or state was speaking to people directly through these mediums that got them excited, that got them organized, that got them to call their council members, tell them to sign on to the bills, that got people to show up to city council hearings and testify in support of these bills.
Without relying on any of New York's traditional guarded media outlets, Chi was able to draw crowds of thousands of people at a moment's notice, effectively respond to criticism from the press, spread the message, and get people voting with only the power of his phone.
Not relying on like local news stations or op-eds that no one reads, right? Having a tool at my disposal where I'm able to change the narrative or combat narratives or create my own narratives through social media and through building an audience through that social media or through those social media platforms was essential in passing this bill. I was pushing this bill that was being contested against by a multi-million-dollar lobbying group. The Real Estate Board of New York, basically runs a lot of, our politicians and government within the city really did not want this bill to pass, right? And other council members of the past and state electeds of the past tried to like pass bills around this, but were never successful, right? Because of big money, because of the Real Estate Board of New York. And I understood that going into this, right? Whether it was, them trying to threaten my colleagues for signing onto the bill, them trying to, frame their own narrative about how bad this bill would be for other reasons.
This guy's just interesting. I'm kind of letting it go unabridged, but this guy's just really interesting. It's cool to see how he used it, and we might need to pick up some ideas about what this guy's got cooking.
The fact that they would lose money, but I was given a position and built a platform where I was able to combat all of that through a device in my hands, right? And I was able to out-organize them through narrative, through media, and through how I communicated. And people trusted me. People aided in my efforts in building a public pressure campaign that aided in getting this bill passed. I remember when there was, after I passed the bill and whatnot, I remember when there was talk about, Zoran, running for mayor, and we sat down. I want to say like July of 2024. This was, I think, after like my hearing with the bill, and then we sat down, and he, told me that he was deeply inspired by the social media strategy that my team has, and I have been, doing for a couple years, and was asking that. Well, first and foremost, was telling me about his plans to run for mayor, and at first I was like, this motherfucker's a little crazy to be like, it was like, I mean, there was just so many other dynamics at the time, and I think that's what makes this moment so amazing, right? Is that not only did he pull it off, but he really proved to all of us that, this was a campaign to believe in, right? And, he was asking for some advice on like just how to navigate that space.
Shortly after the meeting, acting on Chi's advice, Zoran and his digital team of internet-savvy New Yorkers put together a social media campaign that was as effective as it was simple, focusing on one keyword: affordability.
Let's talk about the housing crisis. New York City is a majority tenant town, but too often our government works for the landlords. It's time to take the power back and build housing for the many. Let's get to work.
For context, if you're watching this from, Grand Platte, Nebraska, Manhattan is twice as expensive as any other city in the U.S. The average rent is $5,450 per month.
Holy
Comparatively,
shit, that is fucking insane. $5,000 a month. Oh yeah, NYC, the cost of living is absolutely insane. You're totally right on about that, Rodney.
Minimum wage in New York City is around $35,000 per year. Before taxes. After taxes, it's about $25,000 per year, which is equivalent to 5.5 months of rent in Manhattan. Of course, not everybody in New York.
$5,000. That's the average, folks. $5,000. Do you know anybody that can afford that rent? I don't. I really don't.
In Manhattan, and most people make above minimum wage. But according to a recent Cornell University report, only 30% of New Yorkers make what's called a living wage, which means enough money to cover basic needs on top of housing, like food, healthcare, and transportation. Now, contrast this with the fact that New York has had so-called progressive Democrat mayors in office for the past 12 years.
Because of that, I think people are waking up and seeing that those Democrats who are bought and paid for are not the right leadership that we need to not only oppose fascism and Donald Trump and the right, but show themselves as being a better alternative and bettering our lives and bettering our public institutions.
What do you think of Andrew Cuomo?
He's pathetic. He's full of shit. And yeah, he's going to lose really big. And I'm really excited to see him lose and never hear from him again.
Me too. Fucking excited to see this disgraced Democrat fucking fail. When you decide to leave the party like that, just because you didn't get elected, it's it shows something. It shows something. One moment, I'm switching over my headphones, guys. Oh geez. All right, let's continue.
For someone that has 13 credible counts of sexual harassment is a fool, and anyone that doesn't recognize who is funding his campaign is also a fool.
Well, who's funding his campaign?
Like all of the top Trump donors, Bill Ackman is like a huge sponsor of his campaign. Just people that...
Isn't like 10% of Manhattan under the poverty line? He's not running to win, he's running to get paid. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Disgraced fucking candidate, Andrew Cuomo. Can't stand the guy.
Again, on purpose live in the shadows because they're voting with money. They're not voting with politics.
Alex Karp of Palantir backed him up, sent some money over to him, and that's unacceptable. Especially with how Alex Karp and Palantir is all tied up in the Trump administration. We can't have that in New York City. We got to go up against that.
I think Cuomo's part of the old guard, and I think we need a big change in the city.
Do you feel like Cuomo's too old? Or
He's just not it at all.
Cuomo, he had his time, man. He was the governor, now he wants to run for mayor. Why? Why? Because you know why? He misses that power. He misses that authority, because that's what it's about, authority.
Despite the enthusiastic energy given by some people in the streets of Brooklyn,
So
Saddam
he
also
gets,
noticed.
he's getting his policies passed. So he has a harder time getting his policy passed. Yeah. True. But I just don't think I think Zoran's just got so much charisma. He's got a lot of support behind him. So I think Cuomo's little shit fest all it's gonna do is just show that he's not even worth it to consider for the people of New York.
A lot of apathy and picked up on a sense of jaded disillusionment as to the possibility of real change in the quality of life.
I don't believe anybody. Because they're all crooks anyway. They do everything for themselves anyway. Yeah. So, blue and white, Yankees all day.
I don't really know nothing about that. I just play basketball all day. That's all I really do. Have a wonderful day, y'all.
Cuomo or Mamdani?
I don't even know, man. I'm not really into that right now.
Oh, all right.
Sorry about that, man.
Cuomo or Mamdani?
Either one.
Everybody's for sale. Everybody's gonna get bought at that title. So no matter what you do, it's always gonna be the same.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
because it's like everything's fucked.
Everybody's corrupt. Everybody's corrupt, guys. Everybody is just horrible, and you should just you should just play basketball. That's what you guys should do. There's no hope. It's all shitty. I wonder why my rent's so high, but it can't be because of policies. It's just because my landlord is a dick. It couldn't be anything like that. Oh, I complain all day about how groceries are very expensive, but I'm not into politics.
It's easier to deal with life that way.
Could you ever
Hard to
trust
deal with
any
it.
politician ever for real? Probably not. Everybody just needs to get a little more stoned.
Yeah. Do you guys want weed?
I don't take any side.
You don't take any side?
I don't take any side.
Okay.
Yet beneath the mask of nihilism came several sage tidbits of wisdom.
Pain comes from a lack of understanding. Once you figure out and sit in your feelings and find clarity with the situation that you're going through, your pain will
Voting
go
if
away.
it did nothing, the Republicans wouldn't be trying so hard to make it illegal. Yeah, I know.
You will start to understand where it's coming from.
You got opportunities here. And if you don't take advantage of that, then I don't know what to tell you.
I
you know?
hate
And
this.
for all these American people.
I fucking hate this, dude. I hate this type of stuff. Oh, you're just not doing it. You're just not trying hard enough. Fuck off, dude. That is such bullshit. Maybe that sage advice really worked for you when America was doing great and everything was super not expensive. And yeah, it's true. If you really try hard, you can make it. We have people who work 70 hours a week who are homeless. That's a fact. So, you can try your hardest, but at the end of the day, you're going to need help if there's a system that's kind of against you right now. So,
People, you want to do something? You want to stand up? Buy yourself a bicycle. Everybody, this whole country, start riding bicycles. You get healthy, you breathe better, you save money. On top of that, start growing your own vegetables. Start growing your own fruits. You understand? Buy a rabbit, kill it, eat it. You go hunting season, you go get 2-3 deers,
What
you chop
the
it up,
fuck?
you take it
This
to your
guy's
house, you're great
crazy.
for the whole year. You don't need cows. You don't need chicken, right? You don't need eggs. That's how I go against the system.
oh yeah?
I don't eat eggs. Eggs is $10 a dozen. You know what? I could do without it. So think about it, people. This is how we're gonna fight this country, the politicians, and their decisions on what they want to do with us. We decide what we want to do with us. I decide what I do with me. Not the mayor, not the governor. Me.
It's important to remember that sometimes, no matter what's going on, whether we're on the brink of nuclear warfare or a natural disaster, a solid fraction of the population is living in their own world at all times. For real. Anyways,
As the New York City
Yep,
mayoral race is
literally living in their own world. We need eggs, dude, right? Like, eggs are important. It pisses me off that Cuomo got 32 fucking %. It's such bullshit.
We've seen every type of mainstream institution try and influence things one way or another. And depending on which network you watch in the morning, you're either attending a rally for justice or participating in a leftist mob takeover of the streets. That's the thing about how major outlets frame politics.
All right. Well, we're gonna cut it short with the ground news fucking ad, and we'll pick back up tomorrow. But we have some stories to get into. Just some light stories to get into. I'll probably just read like the header and some of the body, and we'll discuss it here. He has more pulling than both of them combined. Yeah, I know. It's like, and I'm surprised Siwa didn't get more. I know I heard that has some a very bad past, but I'm surprised, some of his ideas weren't horrible. What's up, y'all? And Mr. Guy, good to see you, Savage. Good to see you. We're just chilling right now, chilling in the quads,
Narratives are cracked.
So let's get into this. It's the R next to his name that don't fly in. Yeah, don't fly in NYC. True. Anyways, let's move on to this story. Tariffs are Trump's favorite foreign policy tool. The Supreme Court could change how he uses them. So this has been a story that's kind of developing for a while now, because it looks like the Supreme Court is very much going to limit how Trump can impose tariffs, So, oh yeah, and we're just starting out on a new topic. But so they've been talking about this for a while, and I'm very interested to see kind of the Supreme Court's feelings on it. This is an article by AP Washington, by Michelle Price. Let's begin. President Donald Trump sees tariffs, or the threat of them, as a powerful tool to bend nations to his will. He has used them in an unprecedented way, not only underpinning of his economic agenda, but also as the cornerstone of his foreign policy in his second term. He has wielded the import taxes as a threat to secure ceasefires from countries at war. He has used them to browbeat nations into promising to do more to stop people and drugs from flowing across the border. He has used them, in Brazil's case, as a political pressure because its judicial system prosecuted a former leader who was a Trump ally, and in a recent blow-up with Canada as punishment for a television ad. This week, the Supreme Court hears arguments on whether the Republican president has overstepped federal law with many of his tariffs. A ruling against him could limit or even take away that swift and blunt leverage that much of his foreign policy has relied on. So they will be hearing arguments this week, and I will be bringing this up. I'll be bringing up arguments for and against it. I don't think there's much arguments for it, to be honest. I mean, why should one person have all that unilateral power? They just shouldn't. They shouldn't. It should not be allowed in one person's hand to affect the entire economy of the United States. That's just something that should not be allowed. So I have a feeling that the Supreme Court kind of feels similarly. Arguments for, he owns the Supreme Court. Right, he does. He does own the Supreme Court. So that's why I'm kind of like, but for me, personally, it's a win-win situation. Personally. Because the tariffs hurt people. They do. They hurt people, and they make Trump look like an absolute fucking idiot. So the tariffs are gonna be something people vote on here soon because they're so fucking disastrous. So if they don't get rid of them, then people hate Trump. If they do get rid of them, Trump looks like a weakling in front of his Supreme Court. So either way you slice it, this is going to be a win for us because Trump's fucking economic policy is just so fucking stupid. And I don't mean I hate to see Americans suffering. I really do, dude. But they voted for this, and it is the touch the stove phase. I think he's going to lose on this one though. Yeah, I think he will too, personally. One day there will be a tell-all book about how he suddenly... He's suddenly coercing them to his whim. They used to be bad, but had like 60-40 strike. Now it's like 10-90. Yeah. Yeah, I know. They always go in his favor, but... I think Supreme Court reform needs to happen, whether it be term limits or we totally pack the courts. I don't know, but there needs to be reform. Because they're just agreeing with everything the president does, wanton, which is ridiculous. But that's about all I wanted to read. There's more in this article, and I can put the article in the description, but I just kind of generally wanted to talk about this, and kind of see how you guys are feeling about it, and see how confident you guys are. I'm confident that they're gonna strike it down, and they're gonna limit Trump's ability, but you never know. You never know. And next up, we have a poll. We have a poll, ladies and gentlemen. So most Americans say the country is going in the wrong track. All of them should have term limits and age limits. Yeah, maybe not age limits as much because, I value old people, but definitely term limits or something. So the courts rule the snap cuts are not okay, and they are still saying, and they are still doing it. Well, that's yeah, I don't know how to square that one away, to be honest, but there's no enforcement mechanism. That's what's so infuriating. Like, we gave the judicial power the power to make laws, but it's supposed to be the president who enforces them, but we need somebody to enforce the enforcer when things get bad. But look at this poll here. Republicans said we can't find the funds, and Course gave them the funds, and still nope. Yeah, I don't know. I hope that they withdraw that, because I hope that they use that because the court has ordered them to. But look at this. Look at this. So this is a poll about how many Americans versus how many think they're on the right track versus the wrong track. Just lying, Mike Johnson. Yeah, I know. Fuck that, dude. He is such... He's lucky it's Sunday, or else I'd be grilling him on the, I would be seeing what he said about today's shutdown. Oh, I'm so sorry I'm yawning in front of you guys. It's so embarrassing. But I just wanted to bring this article up and kind of discuss it. More of the poll about how most Americans think we're on the wrong track. Oh, dude, that's a perfect word for him, Rodney. He is a fucking twerp. Oh, he's literally the definition of a twerp. That's a great great that's funny. But this is interesting because if you look at where it was just on January and where it was even before, it was rather grim, but then people started to, or it was rather hopeful, I should say. Most of the country was inconclusive, but as we've seen, Trump had an all-time high unapproval of 77. That's interesting. Or the country had an all-time disapproval of 77. But now we've seen a steady climb of wrong track. Twerp also seems like the strongest swear word he would use. Oh, that's so true, dude. You twerp. Like, whoa. Calm down, Mike. Calm down. I'm not going to read the article. I just kind of wanted to bring up this poll, though. In case you guys have any debates, I would bring up this poll right here. And show that most Americans think we're on the wrong track. But that is slowly growing dimmer. As it seems that some Americans are starting to feel like we're on the right track again. I don't know how to account for that. It may be the Gaza ceasefire that may have attributed to that, but I don't know how quite to account for that there. Hold on, what is this? Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, I just had to make sure. Seems like Trump floor in pollings. Yeah, that's kind of where he stays. I'd say 25% is the base, his base. But yeah, we're on an all-time high of thinking the country is going in the wrong direction. And who's the one piloting the country is what I would ask people. But that's that article, and that kind of brings us to our final shrimp-like man. This woman who spoke earlier, I'm not gonna say it, kicked this guy's ass. Kicked this guy's ass. By the way, guys, I heard something in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yesterday that had utterly shocked me. So, Yugi, or no, I think it was his New Yorker friend. I forgot his name. Joey. So Joey was fighting the bug lady, or the bug dude, the first duel. And Yugi says something like, "Oh my god, Joey's getting creamed!" And I stopped it. I could not believe I heard that in a kid's show, that they were getting creamed. I was like, oh, whoa, I had to stop it. By the way, YouTube has free fucking streams of Yu-Gi-Oh! On, so check it out. I'll be in there. I'll be in there chatting it up. You already know. But we got some shrimp-based content to get into. This is all about, apparently they think there's different factions in the right. And the way they delegate this is the tech bros, the conservatives, and the libertarians. A creamed twerp. Creamed like corn in a blender. Oh, I love the Yu-Gi-Oh! I love hearing them go like, "Oh no! Watch out!" It's so fun. It's so fun. It brings a smile to my face. It truly does. But for the last little bit, until 11, my time, we'll watch some shrimp-based content, and we'll probably pick back up on the shrimp-based content tomorrow. Because this seems interesting. It seems like they're making carve-outs now in their party, which is funny to see.
In fact, I do in the clip because I was there for it. And a lot of people, if you're...
Whoa, Nick, buddy, slow down, bud. We are homies. You don't have to talk fast like that. Oh, introduce Nick to the new viewers. All right, so Nick is a representative from Virginia. He owns a podcast that he runs with his wife and a small little dude I like to call Bald Hitler. He is incredibly dumb, does not know what he's talking about half the time, and just really scrolls on Twitter for most of his information. And it's very funny to make fun of him. I actually have a picture here that I will show you guys. So he rails very hard against transgender, like gender affirming care, right? Well, I have a picture of what Nick used to look like. Now, I will say that Nick has never out and out confirmed that this is a photo of him. However, I will say that he has not denied that this picture is a picture of him. And you can see the similarities, right? You can see it. Look at the nose. Look at the nose. Look at the teeth. The teeth. They are very large and in charge. You'll see he's got big teeth. So, and it's only ever showed up in association with Nick. I've only ever seen this picture shown up in association with Nick Fritas. So, that only leads me to believe that this is a picture of Nick pre-transition. Pre-gender affirming care. And so, I think it's ironic that he decides to rail against gender affirming care when this guy looked like a fucking shrimp before this. Also, yes, he is very dumb. He's just so stupid, dude, that it's like he gives me hope that I can someday be a politician. You know what I mean? He gives me hope. I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. So, and you'll see, he's just not very smart, but he tries to sound smart. He's one of these dudes that like tries his hardest to sound as intelligent as possible, but is just mind-numbingly stupid. But let's start, Nick, here. I'll rewind it for you guys. We always love chilling with Nick here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a clip that we're going to play for you. And I'm going to have to give you some specific context. In fact, I do in the clip because I was there for it. And a lot of people, if you were just watching this at home or if you heard about it later, you might
I think this guy might be dumber than Trump. I'm not going to lie. He is mixed. He's made an unholy combination of shrimp DNA with human DNA. You can't do that. That's not allowed. There's a reason he looked like that. You know? I don't know what's going on up in his head, but it definitely isn't human in nature. Might be whatever RFK had up there.
What's the big deal? I'm going to explain the big deal. And then we're going to go into talking about something else. Because there is a fight against woke right now. And there's a lot of factions in that fight. A lot of co-belligerents. And when we look at the right, we see these factions becoming more pronounced. And the thing that a lot of us are worried about...
You guys are starting to have a civil war. And it looks a lot more intense. You know how we had a lefty civil war, and we still kind of have an active arms... you know, it's an active... we still have a de-escalation zone with them, but it seems like we're starting to galvanize more and more towards anti-Trump rhetoric. And with that being said... it looks like the Republicans, though, they're having a three-way breakup. Because you have the tech dudes, you have MAGA, and then you have conservatives. That's not a good that's not a good pairing. You know what I mean? Liberals and communists, we've been fighting for literally centuries, dude. It is literally just, we have been fighting each other for centuries. So, you know what I mean? Like, we're not too, we've been through this. But I don't know if they've seen a split like this in the Republican Party. And he's going to lay it out and he's going to be like, "Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, it's not that bad." Watch. He's going to be like, "Oh, they're still unified in one thing and fighting woke." Notice, by the way, they have to have an enemy. They can't be unified in bettering the world. They have to have this woke enemy.
About is this idea, is the right just going to turn on itself before we have an opportunity to actually defeat what has caused the chaos that we see around us? By the same token, there has to be some standards for co-belligerents. There has to be some standards for what constitutes an ally in this fight against woke, because...
And that's why his ass is going to fucking lose. That's why, ladies. He paints it with a beautiful brush. He painted it with a beautiful brush. Thank you so much, Nick, for painting why we are so much better than you. Our only standard is you vote blue, no matter who. That's our only standard. But you're going to come here and be like, "Well, they have to believe in this. They have to do this." You know? Hell no. Hell to the no, brother.
Hopefully when we defeat woke, we're going to build something from that. And what we want to try to address right now is actually going to be a part of kicking off a series that we're doing called What Should the Right Want? But first, we got to discuss what are the different factions, and are we as different as being made out right now on social media, or is there actually
no, you
a
guys
lot of
have
areas
some pretty
have to match the series that we're doing called what?
No, you guys have some pretty big differences. You tech bros, the tech dudes and the conservatives do not dap up. And the MAGA, who basically is all Republicans now. Like, this guy's gonna say, like, the moderates in the Republican Party are still there. They're not there anymore. They've become Democrats or left politics entirely.
What should the right want? But first, we got to discuss what are the different factions, and are we as different as being made out right now on social media, or is there actually a lot of areas that we can come together and work together? So we're going to try to discuss all of that. We're not going to take sides on the various factions within the right. We're just going to talk about what they are, what they represent.
I just want low taxes. What do you mean I have to believe in race science and Zog? No, you don't have to believe in any of that, dude. I don't believe in fucking the Zog shit, so don't worry. And, you know, I don't believe in race science necessarily either. I think we're all just fucking... I want us all to be treated fairly and as I would treat my fellow neighbor. That's for them. Oh, okay, I got you. Oh, okay, I got you. Oh! See, that just shows how shitty our left party is, right? Or the leftist to us are right now. I thought you were talking about the leftist. Oh my god, wow. The horseshoe. All right. But yes, I see your point now. I see your point, Bill. Yeah. That's actually a really funny joke, and I fucked it up. I'm so sorry. I just find it so funny that if you were to bring some of these leftist beliefs up and portray it in a certain way, that's funny.
And then in November, you're going to see a series of interviews. And we talked from different people from these different factions to talk about their thoughts, their ideas, not in an adversarial way. I just wanted to know what they thought and why. So I hope you're going to enjoy that. But this episode is what's going to kick that off. But first and foremost, I am your host, Nick Freitas. With me in the studio, my beautiful bride, Tina, Queen of the Bees.
Hello, everyone.
Fucking the woman afraid of her own shadow. This woman is scared of the breeze that hits her hair. You know, this woman is afraid of everything. You know, some say if she sees her shadow, winter lasts twice as long, but we don't know because she's so afraid she won't look.
Then we have our political prognosticator, our resident historian, and the Oracle.
Bald Hitler. That's what we call him, guys. He's not the Oracle of Virginia. Okay, this guy has an anime profile picture with a bunch of flags behind him. This guy is not a political mind that is worth listening to. But let's give it up for Bald Hitler, ladies and gentlemen.
Of Virginia, Christian Hines.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing.
That's his name? Oh, his name is Christian. I like Bald Hitler.
Right. All right.
better.
We're going to start in with this clip because I want you to see what just happened in the Virginia General Assembly.
All right, I'm going to need to explain the context of what you're about to see.
Bro, you're crying. Why are you crying, Nick? Dude, you can see. This is why I think he's shrimp-based, guys. Look how red he is, and then look how red this guy is. Dude, I'm telling you, they're the same person, and it's a psyop. He doesn't want this. Yeah, believe it or not, the bald one is the brains of this operation. Bro, that's so funny that he's the brains. He's the guy. He's the central nervous system. Oh, God. That's true. God, we're having fun today. I'm having fun.
Virginia House of Delegates, where I currently serve, we have a process where you can honor someone that has died by requesting that when the House adjourn in the honor and memory of that individual. And we had a few the other day. I requested that we adjourn in the honor and memory of...
Oh my God, no fucking shot. Oh, good. Of course you did. Of course you did. Oh, this idiot shouldn't be in fucking... Get him out. Get him out. He should not be in a House of Delegates. If you're in Virginia, I would love to see you vote against this man.
Charlie Kirk.
Oh, Charlie Cook. Kind of like Stephen Miller, huh? Yeah, kind of. Kind of, honestly. This guy is more stupid than even Stephen, though.
One of my colleagues requested that we adjourn in the honor and memory of former Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman, who was also tragically murdered. I want you to watch the difference in reactions. I would again move that today we adjourn in the honor and memory of Charlie Kirk. Well done, good and faithful servant.
The delegate from Culpeper, Delegate Freitas, moves that when the House adjourn today, do so in the honor and memory of Charlie Kirk. All those in favor, please rise.
Yeah, this is the Democrat side of the aisle, and you'll notice it's very empty as if they're not there, and then several.
Yeah, no shit. Charlie Kirk was a piece of shit. I don't want to honor his memory, you dumb fuck. And all the Republicans are standing up because they know their ass is grass and the voters are the lawnmower if they don't.
Of them just remain seated. Maybe they just didn't show up. Oh no, there they are.
No,
There
MAGA
they are. They
is
say,
the
oh, there's
lawnmower.
Delegate Shin. She's actually going to come up here in a little bit later. Oh look, there's Pastor Josh Cole and Delegate Amy Loffer. They're clearly got something to be at. Oh, Delegate Mike Jones. He's got to run out real quick to take a very important something.
Yeah, because Charlie Kirk's a piece of shit and was. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna fucking do apologia for this fucking for your guys' goibles, you know? I'm not gonna do apologia for your guys' goibles. Okay? I'm sorry you lost them. The propaganda machine, you know what? I agree. It really hasn't been the same since. But you guys you gotta move on. They may have just done it when Dems were out. Don't even trust his storytelling. Oh yeah, I know. It may have been, he may have just been recording, just totally randomly when it's, totally unrelated. I don't trust this guy. Much like any woman alone in a bar would, I don't trust this man either.
Oh look, Delegate Shin's back.
Would move again that we, when we adjourn today, we adjourn in honor and memory of former Minnesota Speaker Melissa Hortman.
The delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Shin, moves that when the House adjourns today, it do so in the honor and memory of former Speaker of the House, Melissa Hortman. All those in favor shall please rise.
Oh, notice how
Right.
no Republicans are running for the door. Instead, we're standing there in solidarity and respect.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Well, number one, Charlie Kirk wasn't a politician. Number two, Charlie Kirk wouldn't have thought half of those people that are in the Democratic delegation should have even been there. So yeah, I'm not going to stand for this racist who pretended to be for free speech.
Maybe it's because we don't find it difficult to stand in respectful solidarity against violence towards people that simply disagree with you on politics. Apparently, it's a bridge too far for some of our Democrat colleagues. I just want to say, once upon a time, I didn't care what they thought about me. Now, I hope that anybody that behaves or acts this way hates my guts. I think I'm doing a pretty good job.
Oh my god, he's so cringe! Oh, cringe overload, please send help! Help! Oh god. Please, sir, please stop being so cringy. It got me in the heart, guys. It got me in the heart. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, guys. Okay. Ooh. Everybody okay? I'm sorry. I didn't know that it was going to be that cringy. All right. So let's just take a breather here. Let's take a breather. Okay. Is everybody okay now? Okay. I'm going to read the chat now. I'm sorry you guys had to go through that. If you have a loved one nearby, they can help you. It'll be okay. I'm convinced that when Miller speaks live, his wife is telling him what to say via earpiece. They have the exact same mannerisms. Watch his wife, then watch him. Tell me you're wrong. I'm gonna bring that up. I think that's here. Stephen Miller and wife synced. Let's see. Let's see if it brings something up. Oh my god, he does look evil though. He does. Oh, HuffPost. Nice. He does look evil. God, look at that dude. He is just so evil looking. And so does she. She looks evil too. She looks like she'd be running the head agency of a like in a horror movie, she'd be the one running the agency. That's how I kind of feel about her. Melissa was bipartisan, understanding queen. Nothing like Charlie. Yeah, exactly. Melissa Hortman was amazing public servant, and her name shouldn't even be brought up in the same conversation as Charlie Kirk, to be quite honest. to be quite honest. Like, Melissa Hortman, you're right, she was very bipartisan, so.
And I do think I'm doing a good job because, quite frankly, one of my colleagues decided to lecture me in the House Delegates break room. She was very upset that her cousin had shared my post, my tweet, after Charlie Kirk's death. And she goes, you're such a hypocrite. You talk about civil dialogue, but you basically called for a war. No, I said we were in the midst of a war between.
Oh my God. I basically called for a war. No, no, no. Also, he loses the audio feed. He goes silent and says nothing. It happens twice. It has happened twice live. Oh yes, Stephen Miller. I remember that. That's true. It's probably the other way around. His wife is a bot he speaks through. Honestly, maybe.
Between diametrically opposed worldviews.
I thought you were talking about Nick for some reason. I know I need to come into the live chat at some point and start harassing them. Not harassing them, but just like start memeing on them. I wonder how quick it would be to get banned. I used to use I have a private account I have for my subscriptions and stuff, but you guys will see little bits of me if you can find me. You will see like little trails of breadcrumbs I've laid out for you guys throughout the topics. Don't say hey. Oh yeah, true. I should not say that. I would never harass somebody. What I would do is just be a little meme lord and be a sweet guy. And as a matter of fact, I would lovingly tell him how I think his guns in the back are really cool. I think they're really cool, Nick. And I think your medals that you didn't earn in the back there are also just super cool. Just saying a video game after. Yeah, I know, but I just don't know what Minecraft server he plays on. Although I think Christian is definitely a little bit of a gamer. No, I'm using his name. I think Bald Hitler is a little gamer, so we could game on that. Don't harass anybody, by the way, guys. Just don't harass people. I myself am very capable of taking these idiots on one-on-one. And I had debates planned for this weekend, but unfortunately my job said no to that. So I'm hoping I can get into some MAGA panels on Tuesday and Wednesday. I have something planned for Wednesday, but I'll be able to stream before it. So I'm hoping Tuesday I'll be able to get into some pretty heated debates, but so stay tuned for that. And I need to start YouTube short streaming too.
Now, what's interesting is again, she thinks I'm a fascist, I'm a racist, I'm a sexist, I'm a bigot, I'm a horrible human being, a threat to democracy, and yet no trouble walking right up to me and delivering what her opinion is of me.
Yeah, because you would use are you stupid, Nick? Yes, he is. So that's not that was a rhetorical question, but obviously she's not. What do you want? Okay, in your world, you think she thinks you're Hitler, right? So like, is she supposed to be like stabbing you right now and shooting you? Is that what you want? No, of course not. So stupid.
Right, because she's not really afraid because she knows she's full of crap. She also assumed that I care.
Dude, this guy's so petty too. Like he's like talking about little qualms inside of the delegate's office. I'm petty, but I make that well known. This guy would be like, "Oh no, I don't like drama. It's fucking for children." But he's literally being like the pettiest son of a bitch I've ever seen. You know what happened? You know what actually happened, folks? She fucking owned him in a debate. Like in the cafeteria. She owned him. And so I think that he's just letting his dirty laundry air out. And that's embarrassing, Nick. You shouldn't do that.
About the moral ramblings of somebody who believes it's perfectly legitimate to chemically and surgically mutilate gender confused children in order to chop up babies.
That's not what anybody is saying. That's not what anybody is saying. Stop, Nick. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's advocating for that. In reverse, you're actually advocating for it because you're creating a group that believes in it in your worldview. So you're giving more credence to that idea than I would. Obviously, I personally believe you can't get surgery done until you're 18. I know many women who were once men at one point, and they have told me the same thing. That they're glad they waited till 18. They wouldn't have needed it at 16. Yeah. One of my trans friends actually got their surgery recently, and I am very proud of her for going through with that. It's a difficult thing, so shout out to them.
In the womb. I do not. I do not care about her moral ramblings. I am, however, thrilled at two things. One, I'm thrilled that she can't stand me, because anybody that behaves the way that she does is not someone that I would want to think well of me, right? So,
hey, Nick, I can stand you. Damn, am I the only Democrat that can stand him? Does everybody else, like when they see Nick, do they just go, ah, the light? You know? Am I the only one that's able to do this? Well, I'm glad I can carry the torch.
Accomplished there. Second, I'm thrilled that her cousin is sharing my content. None of my family is sharing hers. So, thanks for that. Tell your cousin hi for me. Anyway.
Let's do a debate, Nick. I just want to debate you. I'm going to have my editor clip this and send it. Nick, I want to debate you. This is an open invitation to Nick Fritas from Virginia delegation. I am challenging you, Nick, to a open and fair debate. Now, it doesn't have to be in person. It can just be on call like this. Because I know that you are fucking dumb as hell. And you shouldn't be sitting here bad talking your coworkers for some shitty disagreement about Charlie fucking Kirk. That would be great, bro. Oh, I'm saying, you know, the invitation's there. And at every time I stream and Nick hasn't debated me, I'll have a counter. And it'll count how many times Nick has it'll be like days since Nick has dodged the debate, and I'll send it to him. Yeah, we'll get something like that going. I want to debate this dude. He does not know what he's talking about. He just uses one-liners like, oh, they're trying to mutilate children's genitals. Oh, illegal immigrants' healthcare. You know, he has no base. He thinks he's smart. He thinks he's intelligent. He sees himself as this great arbiter of the truth. But what he's saying is extremely base level and stupid. It's just stupid. Nobody believes that you should be mutilating kids' genitals at 13. You're fucking insane if you think there's people out there that think that.
The reason why I point this out, and the reason.
So Nick, please, I am. It is 2 hours 56, so it'd be right at the end. That's perfect. Nick, please, I would love to debate you. Please, man. You know, you can even hide my name, so I don't get any views. I don't get any subs. You can just call me Random Arbiter of the Truth 69. Okay? Generating, I'm using that. Good. Use it and profligate it. I like that word. It's actually pretty funny. You know, you can hide my name. You can do all that. So I just get no followers. I want to debate you, and I just want to expose to your audience and you how stupid you are. Okay? We can do that. You can reach out to me, my editor, Lily. or any of the mods in the loner chord, yeah, it's open, and I'll be reaching out to you, Nick. So yeah, let's get this going, man, you know? And you're not exactly a heavy hitter either. I mean, 31K views, you know, I would love that, but it's not exactly the fucking, you're not Markiplier right now, so that's all I'm saying. But yeah, this is a free, open invitation. Nick, let's debate, man. Let's hash this out. The shrimp wars, they're gonna continue raging on, and honestly, there's more people I would rather meme strike, you know what I mean? Like Euro and Travel gets way more live viewers than this guy does, but this guy is a delegate, so he's kind of more important. Honestly, once you get kicked out of office, you know, once your voters kick you out of office, I'll probably not even pay attention to you. You'll be like insignificant. But until then, let's debate. Let's have a conversation. No. Here, I'll just say it. No, I'm not your friend. I don't like you. I do think you're a piece of shit. And so let's not do any of that. Hey, I invented a word. Genitalating. Oh, great. I'm glad that can be the first word I invent. Isn't there an election in 2 days? Well, that's a great question. Because he's a lazy piece of shit. Get on those TikTok debates, man. You will grow fast. Yeah, I'm getting BlueStacks installed, so I hope to be hosting some TikTok debates soon. I have to get to 1,000 followers though on either YouTube or any other platform before I can host panels. But once I start hosting panels, or once I'm able to host and stuff, I think I'll do very well. Because, you know, I'm a pretty decent debater, I'd say. I've got some pedigree to it. But you know, I'm not like, the fucking master of debating either. I definitely have a lot to learn. But, you know, I give myself credit. Can you do shorts yet? Yeah, I do shorts pretty, I go on YouTube Shorts Live actually pretty often, when I'm gaming and, soon to be debating, hopefully. But, I just haven't worked on many actual shorts yet. Me and my editor are, at some point, we haven't started it yet just because we got some workload we got to get through, but we plan on doing like a Democratic Pokemon reveal where it'll be like, who's that Democrat? This Democrat shut down the government for 30 days because he wanted healthcare for Americans. This Democrat was leader of House Minority for so-and-so years. It's Hakeem Jeffries. And, you know, something like that. We're working on that, but that's in the back burner for right now. The reason I'm kind of just talking right now is because it's at the end of the show. We're at the end of our show today. I have to go to my normal human job and, have fun with that. So unfortunately, I will have to leave you guys for today, but this has been an absolutely amazing stream, guys. We got a bunch of new viewers. We got new subscribers. We got a new chatter. Rodney, what's up? Good to see you there, man. Stephen Miller is as Lex Luthor. Straight up. I think he might be. But yeah, I'm so glad to see you there, Rodney. It really means a lot to me that you're in the chat and typing up a storm. It means a lot. If you guys want to go to Discord, I use my fellow content creator Kalinda's Discord right now, but I am working on my own. It's been in the works for years now. I need my I'll probably be messaging a couple of my YouTube mods about the Discord. So I love your channel. Well, thank you. That means the world to me, man. You can't see it, but I'm smiling right now. That made me smile, you know? It's always been my, you know, I've always wanted a creative outlet where I can talk about my politics and not feel so isolated. I live in Kansas, so you know it's not exactly the liberal capital, although it's becoming that. It is actually becoming that, surprisingly, but the average folk aren't exactly in line with my personal, you know, politics. So it's good to be out here and be able to talk to you guys, be able to talk to my homies. But that about wraps it up. If you guys liked the stream, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It means the world to me, and it really does help out the YouTube algorithm. I can't overstate how much it does. I will be live tomorrow at 8 a.m. from 11 a.m. or 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. where I talk about the news and politics. Yeah, that about wraps it up, guys. Let me get you your Front Mission 4 music, and we will head out. Peace.